sitting there chatting. Let's just get into it. All
Yeah,
right, we're gonna
we
do
got plenty to talk about. Let's do it.
the recap here for Method Underground. No 1, no 2, no 3, just Method Underground 2024. Wow.
Yeah.
So much to talk about. Actually, before we even get into anything, I just want to I want to apologize to everyone that were tuned into the live stream. Technical difficulties right out the gate. Totally my fault. We got it resolved, but it was a little too late. I feel like it should have been perfect throughout the entire stream, and we missed the ball or dropped the ball on that one. But so I did spend all night splicing back together the footage that we have, because we record to the cameras at high quality, splicing that together, pulled it up, and then re-uploaded the stream so you can look for the Method Underground updated for those of you who want to see what actually happened on problem 1. So that's up there. Won't be an issue ever again. I figured out what the issue is. It's 100% my fault. If you want to know what it is, you can always talk to me later, but I'm not going to air about it right now. And just a big apology to the Method crew. Thank you guys for supporting the channel and all that. And we got you guys next time. All right. Now,
I think an appreciated but unowed apology. I think you're doing enough work for the people.
Yeah, but I want to make sure we're doing the right work. And it's essentially in an effort to improve one thing, I messed something else up. So that's what happens. But problem solved. We're moving forward. And if you guys want to see that, like I said, problem 1, clear as day, beautiful. Go check it out. And highlights, of course, to come. What is up with all these people I've never heard of coming out to crush it? I mean, just getting into, so I mean, people that we normally see in finals, just looking at the qualifiers on both ends, right? So both ends, men and women. I'm going down the list. Let's start it. I'm not even just throwing out names, starting at just 10th place and below 10th, people who did not even make 10th. You have Josh Placko, Justin Tim, who just won the Rock Club, Sam Lerner, Dreamer. I mean, like, these are people that you would see, maybe if they don't make it somewhere in top 10, not even close. Not even close.
Yeah, I'll give the big rundown on who I am shocked didn't make it, but also not shocked. I think I might know a couple more of the names than you do, but
I know a lot of them.
I think I'm not surprised at how stacked any of the categories were. I think Method has a great reputation, and they put on a great comp. They had a huge cash purse. They had great sponsors. They had an incredible setting team that they were working with. I mean, they pulled out all the stops, and it worked out. I'm trying to remember how many people there were, but I think there were 175 in the morning session and 225 in the afternoon. Morning session was just open and youth, which I thought was really cool. Like, that's what I wanted to see from the Rock Club. That's what I wanted. Like, I think that is a really good format. I'm also down for open and beginner. Another cool thing that I like that they did is they had judges for the open competitors. I think that is a great way to organize timing. It keeps everything a little bit more honest. Like, we have a very honest sport. I don't see a lot of people lying about their attempts or anything like that. But I think that it sets a really good precedent.
We actually did have in a recent comps, not going to throw any comp names out there, that there were a couple of protests, a little bit of controversy. We can talk about that offline, but it all got resolved. People eventually came to an agreement, but so and I don't know who they know, Method, but they were. I mean, we're looking at results here on usacresults.org. So I mean, everything about this competition is top notch, very well done, and I expect nothing. And it's it's funny because just kind of going back to before we were live streaming and just recording all the comps and uploading them to the channel. Method, both of their comps had not even close to the amount of viewership that I would expect from such a premier place, and This year was a little bit different.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the work running, and so, and I know they're young. They're a young gym, and they're not part of a franchise. They're them, and
Yeah.
so
On their solo.
they're running solo, but they're doing a bang up job with some top tier athletes. Yeah.
Yeah. The for the afternoon session, that 225 number, I was skeptical of. I thought that it was going to feel insanely crowded, and I was proved wrong. It felt like very balanced. Like I didn't feel like I was waiting in line. They spread everything out well. Not many routes like overlapped with each other, which was great. I thought that the setting was great in that nothing felt like it was just thrown up to have points on the wall.
No.
Like 1 through 5 were like still had some complexity and cool moves to them.
Yeah,
like,
no,
all the way up through 50.
Yeah, I mean that's method. I mean, like that's the first thing I noticed when I stepped into the gym prior to comp. I'm like, these are all comp sets, no overlap. And like I'm like, this is a dream come true, right? You can just hop on a climb and work that climb. 225 people, you were saying, and there was probably one spot that I saw congestion, and it was only because it was slab. You had a slow slab problem where people, and everyone was excited. It was like one of those slab problems where advanced and intermediate were interested in getting this thing done, and that was it, right? And then but like otherwise, it was maybe a minute, 2 minutes wait before you're back on the wall. Yeah,
it wasn't bad.
Yeah, and speaking of being back on the wall again, I got to watch some really strong climbers who actually ended up on the podium coming from my home gym. Congratulations to you again. That's 2 in a row, right? You got 2 on the
Thank
podium.
You, appreciate it.
You just, I know it really doesn't matter where you place as long as you do better than Sonny. That's ultimately the goal.
I think that if you ask Sonny, that would be the case. For me, it's corny. It's what I tell the team kids, but I just felt like I climbed well for the first time in a bunch of comps, and I strategized well. I really appreciated that there were some higher numbers on the steeper climbs, which always puts me in a better position, which brings up that they ended up having to scratch one of the climbs on the steeper wall. It was number 38. It started crouched on a volume. You had to jump out, and somebody unfortunately like took a mean whip off of that and hit their head. And so they took the volume off the wall. Everybody had to scratch that one off their cards, which totally understand. Like, glad that they prioritize safety. Hurt my scorecard a little bit. So that wasn't ideal, but so be it. I mean, I'm always happy for safety over scorecards. But that was interesting. I haven't seen that at a competition before.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it was interesting because when, we were in the area, I forgot what her name was. Someone was going for the first move, and she literally couldn't, but she was committing to the grab and just missing it. And it was like stumbling head first into the wall, but she caught herself. And I was like, that can be dangerous, not really thinking about that. And it was clearly a dangerous move. It was, I've never seen them just scratch it off the card. So that was interesting. But I mean, overall, great sets, really fun climbs. Lots of creativity. They didn't throw anything up on the wall just for the sake of throwing up on the wall. Really made you think. It was really well set.
Great round.
A lot of fun with it.
We've got plenty to talk about with the open round, but my one thing that I saw was people who had competed in the first round who were climbing during the second round.
Oh, that too.
Made me pretty frustrated, including somebody who was out of skin from climbing in the first round and was bleeding on holds.
Oh, wow.
So my call to the community is, if you climbed in the first round, hang out and watch and don't touch holds or leaves that people can have their space or whatever. It's pretty disrespectful to the competitors who are trying to get their max time and attempts in the second round for you to stay and be trying stuff. So let's all hold each other accountable for that.
I definitely noticed that as well. And I was very confused as to why this person was still a couple people, and so agreed.
That's all. That's my one soapbox of the day. Should we get into open? Because I got plenty of names I want to spout off.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of names Just
Yeah. I'm gonna do people in the top 20, or I guess that didn't make finals.
I'm both
that, that should make finals at any given comp. But Sam Lerner Dreamer just in finals at Long Island City and the Rock Club. Quentin Catone, who's just in Long Island City finals. Justin Kim, who just won the Rock Club. Josh Platko, who has been in every finals for the past 2 years. Bryce Viola, who is like undeniable.
Matt Rodriguez.
Solomon Matt Rodriguez. I'm just going up the list. Solomon Barth in 10th place. He was in finals last year. Absolute monster. Augie Chi, method hero, just out of finals. Matt Rodriguez just out of finals. Jesse Grouper in last spot for finals. Yeah. Olympic qualified Jesse Grouper last spot for finals. Isaac left in finals. I think we'll talk a little bit more about Arch in a second, but he was in finals. Ross Fulkerson, the man of the hour in finals, and then Austin Hoyt, Adam Shahar. So, Austin, Adam, and Isaac are always my favorite to watch. Glad that they were in finals. But then on the women's side, Isabel Ross, Nina Schroeder, Siri Saharath, who else? Zoe Chi, Julia Talbot, Francesca Hine, Livy Malco, Jojo Chi, not in finals. We had Jolie Abadir, Megan Lynch, Chloe Cosco. But yeah, I mean, unreal. It's crazy to think how that happens. Like, those names should be in finals, especially like local competitions. If you want to take it on the national scale, you want to go like team trials, you want to go any of that stuff. Yeah, I understand. Like, it's anybody's day. That's where the level of competition is. But it's crazy to think that local, Newark, New Jersey comp has that level of competition.
Yeah. And I mean, like, to see JoJo not make finals. So like, just from anytime. So some of the things that we do when we're doing live stream is we throw the names of the athletes in the bottom. And then, so like, I just have a list of names of athletes so I can just copy and paste. And like, JoJo is like, just for the sake of speed, I just have her in the first place in that list, and not to see her even make finals was, I mean, I didn't get any info on that. I'm going to say that she was just not on her game for her to not make the finals. Somewhere in there, she should have been. So I don't know what happened. I didn't really see her climbing much.
It was on attempts. It was a difference of 8 attempts. So Jolie had 7 tops in 34 attempts, and JoJo had 7 tops in 42 attempts. The other 5 females in finals all had 8 tops. So yeah, the 6th spot was between Jolie and JoJo. And then you go 1 spot down in 8th place, there's only 4 tops. Right. So we're talking about, tiny differences.
Yeah. You're breaking it down as a coach. You're looking at all the micro data. Yeah. No, I mean, that was pretty insane. So like, a lot of these names I've seen before. So a lot of them I've seen in Dark Horse, like, so that was in finals and around. But I mean, just looking at a lot of the names in between people that we see all the time are names I've never seen before, whether or not they've made finals. Like, they're just, I mean, having, and just kind of thinking about it, I was just doing, just kind of recap in my head, and it's just like, that cash purse was insane. And I'm sure just, with the name that they have as well, that brought in some athletes, and, but like, money talks. And when you start talking about how much a lot of these comps don't pay, it's like, I'm not gonna go to that comp, but like, people are, I mean, they brought the woodwork out for really coming out for some big money, and I think this was a strategic decision made by the Method Crew, because they did, I believe, 3 undergrounds last year, right?
Yeah.
And so like, let's take the money from all 3, combine them into one, right? And then there you 100%. Go.
Yeah, I think it's a very smart move. It makes, like, having a series at one location. So we've had like the Cliffs Cup in the past. It makes it a series. It encourages people to go to each gym's comp. But a series at one gym, I think, lends itself to, I'll go to the second one, but I don't need to go to the third one. But if there's one, it's a big day. Let's all get there. $10,000 cash purse. Let's get Jesse Grouper there, who's from New Jersey. A lot of people forget that. And
but I've only seen Jesse so far in two comps, and that was the first Dark Horse, probably because someone said please come or whatever. I'm not trying to say that Dark Horse is not worth the but like
Right.
he wasn't at any of the other ones after that. And then this,
Yeah, when you're in your Olympic training cycle, you're pretty choosy when
yeah.
like you know.
And then
Uh,
Jesse did the same thing though. I'm going to say off the top of my head that Jesse did qualify in last place as well at Dark Horse. That was the first one at Dark Horse, and then wind up podiuming. So like I just think that's his style. He just comes in, takes it, and then just comes out and crushes it.
And it shows in his sport climbing too, like on the World Cup stage, whatever. He's always topping routes with like 0 seconds left on the clock. He does like he manages his energy so perfectly. I mean, like if you're trying to learn how to be a like min-maxed competitor where you finish with as much energy as possible, you watch Jesse Grouper. He's incredible to watch. Actually, he and I would attend the same competitions in high school. I'm not going to say that we competed against each other as if I would have ever been on the same level as him, but even back in high school, he always was like top of his class, but like very fun to watch because he was so like smooth and efficient. And, like obviously it still shows.
For sure. Yeah, he came out for the win for sure.
But yeah, incredible qualifying round, and the finals round as well was super. Obviously super stacked, but the boulders were really great. I can just run down the final placements if that helps us orient ourselves. But for the women, we had Jolie in 6th, Sienna Perez in 5th, Megan Lynch in 4th, Nora Chi in 3rd, Kylie Cullen in 2nd, and Chloe Koskoy in 1st. All big names, but I think Chloe Koskoy is like the big name that everybody was excited to see, and didn't disappoint. The only woman with 4 tops. Kylie Cullen close behind with 3, and there must always be a Chi in finals if we're in the Northeast. So Nora representing, stepping up on the podium for her family's gym.
Yeah, representing the gym and bringing some of that money back home.
yeah, right back into their own pockets. And then for the men, we had Austin Hoyt in 6th, Adam Shahar in 5th, Isaac Leff in 4th, Ross Fulkerson in 3rd, Arch.
Arch.
I feel like it's worse if I try to pronounce his last name. Arch in 2nd, and Jesse Grouper in 1st. Austin, Adam, and Isaac, obviously everybody knows their names. If you're in the Northeast, absolute monsters. Ross Fulkerson, everybody knows off of his YouTube and his World Cup success. Everybody knows Jesse Grouper. Olympic qualified, need we say more? But I think the buzz for a lot of people in the crowd was, who is this Arch guy? And I got to talk to Charlie Schreiber a little bit about it. He's obviously insanely strong, but I spoke to Austin about it, and he said the same thing on that comp style, like jumping across volumes, all of that coordination, all that techie slab. He's on another level. Like the Austin is obviously like, V15 climber outside. He's got that ability, but he was saying like Arch cannot be touched in that comp style, unless it's an Olympian, right?
I mean, I don't know if you caught Arch's first attempt on the slab. Men's 2. Yeah, he literally skipped across. It was like ding, 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 and like literally, I was like, "What?" And then he took a different approach the second time, but he literally skipped across the spot that everyone's trying to like, just take slow and catch it with a almost pistol squat, and he tiptoed across. It was pretty crazy. And he did it so quickly that no one saw it coming. Because everyone watched Jesse kind of come across. I think it was Jesse that did it before him come across. Yeah, because he was nice and slow. And then we were all kind of watching the women, and then all of a sudden, boop, 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 and he was there. I was like, what the hell happened? Yeah. So, I mean, like, it was really great to watch him, and he was super explosive. And the comp style clearly suits him really well. Yeah. And looking forward to seeing more of him, hopefully.
Yeah. Love to see more of him at some of these locals. Him on men's 2 reminded me of Mario jumping on a Koopa, like popping off the shell and like getting that extra bounce. Like every time he stepped on a volume, it seemed like he was springing out of it. That dude is insanely explosive and really fun to watch.
Yeah, he was climbing very, very confidently too, as well. Like there was no hesitation at all in anything he was doing. It was just like, I'm going to just do this, and he did it, which was really kind of crazy.
Pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So, Oh no, I was just gonna say for the women, like similarly, it was incredible to watch all of them. But I think we don't often get to watch somebody as dominant as Chloe Koskoi. Like it's very obvious that she's on another level. And she had one fall in finals. She flashed 3 out of 4 and did number 2, her second try. And you know, and that's not I'm not trying to take away from any of the other climbers who are all incredible, but it's like head and shoulders. I mean, she is an absolute beast. Incredible to watch her climb and get to watch like how she moves on the wall. She's so powerful and so technical. Super fun to watch. And I was fangirling through the whole finals with everybody. That was
you and everyone. I mean, like everyone was just really excited to watch her, and she really brought it. And just like for those of you out there who are kind of like new to competition climbing, especially like finals, like when you start talking about like JoJo Chi, Sienna Perez, like Nora, these are the ones we usually see on the podium, and Nora, of course, made 3rd. But like from a setter standpoint, when they look at who registers, they understand the level of climbing that they bring, and they set, that's kind of like the bar and a little higher. They're kind of set based on the top climbers. And then like when you look at Sienna Perez coming in 5th, in a competition, and, like it's that just kind of puts that in perspective. Sienna is she didn't climb as much this year. She didn't compete this much this year, but she just did team trials, right? She just finished the team trials, and she performed brilliantly at team trials, along with JoJo Chi. And to see her come in 5th, and then see how all these women that were climbing considerably stronger than her just puts things into perspective as to how much stronger they are, and the fact that they sent these things, and these really strong climbers were not performing like we're used to.
Yeah. And by the way, you take this finals lineup, you take qualifiers, this finals lineup, anything about this day, and you do it 5 times in a row, you're going to have completely different lineups, completely different podiums every single time. And that's just what that level of competition is. But back to like who they set for, there's like a legendary story of Chris Sharma didn't lose in a competition for like years. I know like Daniel Woods was 9-time national champ, but like Chris Sharma was like nearly a decade, did not lose a single competition. And there was some interview with a setter where he was like, like when I'm setting for finals, I can either create a really exciting round for everybody else, or I can challenge Chris. So we can make Chris fall and everybody else gets 0, or we can just give Chris the win and then make an exciting round outside of him.
All right.
And I don't think that that's where competitive climbing is anymore. I don't with the exception of maybe Janja. Janja Garnbret is pretty untouchable, but outside of that, like it is anybody's day at any time. And it's so much fun as a spectator to be in this like incredible, like I'm going to say like the best it's ever been competition climbing, And
just but looking at this, and we really, like for me, it was an eye opener as to just really how much the sport can grow from a competition standpoint. Like, so there's so many strong climbers that are out there that aren't even showing up, for whatever reason. I'm going to say it's the money is a big deal, because it's just, and there's a big discussion. I've seen a couple of discussions about this in general about, and not to like point anything out, but like Adam Shahar, national champion, the payout for that, and you can look it up yourself, is not what it should be for someone at that level, and so when you think about all the hard work these kids were putting into this, and like if every single, and it's the sport as a whole, like if every single competition, whether we took them and made them smaller as opposed to doing 5-6 competitions for the movement Northeast, maybe take it down to a 3. But then it's like, well, which gym gets the attention? So I understand like there's a lot of politics and stuff around that, but like ultimately I think the money talks, and they had a huge amount of sponsors. I was putting together the whole slide for underground, and like there was a lot of backing, sponsorship,
a ton.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just like a little bit more behind the scenes on like what it takes to put on a competition. It's insanely expensive to put on a comp. So I really don't fault the like smaller local gyms for not having massive cash purses. It's
Absolutely.
okay. I'm not
Yeah.
saying every comp needs a 10K purse. It's
Nope.
great when we're able to like support these incredible climbers by having them like take home a big check. But
Mhm.
like just the setting team for the week is these like 12-hour days. Like if you're gonna have setters travel, you gotta house them, you gotta feed them. Like all of the things that people don't see that make an incredible show, like lighting and making sure that there's a good working microphone. All these little things add up, and if you think of like the budget for the day, if you don't sell out all your slots, like it's somewhat thin margins. I'm not saying that there isn't room to put that money back onto the podium, but it's, don't fault your local like
And
singularly owned gym. Yeah.
and I'm not faulting anyone. I'm just making a general observation about, when I say that sports got room to grow, there's a lot of room for sport to grow. From a professional athlete standpoint, there should be more money in the sport, and I'm not on the gym. Like even just looking at, like I was talking from a national champion, not from a local gym standpoint. We're talking from the USA climbing national. Like I mean, so we're not blaming local gyms on this. And I'm not blaming anyone. I'm just really saying there's a huge opportunity there for the sport to grow. And then like one of the things, like this is one of the reasons why I wanted to start doing live streams, is because there's no love, out there. Like when you start talking about all the local competitions, I want to be able to create more awareness around this and grow the sport to, where these people that are just amazing at what they do should really, if they wanted to, be able to actually survive on the sport,
Yeah, it would be awesome. And look, some people do, right? And thank God for that, because it's not just the biggest, like the two best people in the world at any given time. Like there are more and more climbers every year who are able to have climbing as their full-time job, and like it's great because that gives us more access to incredible climbing as fans of climbing. And I think credit to Method, they are a group of people who are pushing the boundaries of what professional climbing in the US can be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And like just set an amazing example on how it could be done. But I'm sure it took a lot of work, a lot of work, and to get to this point, especially as a small gym. So I'm just really excited to see what's to come for the sport, for Method as well, and all these athletes. But it's just like I have a lot of names I have to add to my Insta now. I have a lot of follows.
Oh yeah, quite a few,
which is great, but yeah, that's just more visibility to these athletes would be great. Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to Harlem in a couple of weeks. I think that if you're looking for information on that, you can find it at climbingnoise.com. Is that right?
Absolutely. Yeah. And someone was passing out stickers as well during the competition. I don't know if you guys saw
awesome.
that. I mean, my man also had a pocket full of stickers, and I was too busy behind the camera, but
that's awesome.
Or if you want to see, like, if they're live streaming somewhere, I'm pretty sure you can find it somewhere on a YouTube channel like this one. They might be on their live calendar as well.
Yeah, good. Everybody. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying, like, just kind of getting into our conversation when you start talking about what goes into a comp. Come Harlem, after Harlem, we're going to have a lot of information for you all on that. So keep an eye out on the channel for a little treat. Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. Everybody should sign up for Harlem and go compete there. Head setter Sebi is an incredible guy. It's gonna be a great comp. It was last year. Will be again this year. And then I'll see you there. And then I don't know if there are any other comps. I'm gonna have to check climbingnoise.com. But then there's Gowanus at the end of May. But in between that, everybody should make sure to subscribe to Beta Breakers, because if we're talking about people who are putting effort into building up competitive climbers and building names of these athletes, I don't know if people know that Basim does this all for free. So please subscribe. Put some money in this man's pocket.
Oh, thank you very much, Tyler. But yeah, they're just trying to grow the community, trying to get things to happen. And I'm sure eventually, actually we're at the point where we can monetize the channel. Not that I'm making money hand over fist.
We made it.
Yeah, we made it. So
hey, congratulations.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, it was 1,000 subscribers. I've always, like I said before, I've always had the hours. I mean, everyone enjoys the content. We have, there's 2 requirements for those who want to become YouTubers. 1,000 subscribers, right? And 4,000 hours worth of watch time in a 365-day period. We get 3,000 hours in like 2 months. So the hour wasn't an issue. Like people watching, it's just a matter of people just clicking that. I know it's a lot of effort to click the subscribe button for you out there. But yeah, that was the main thing. And then everyone decided that they wanted to do that, which was really exciting. So yeah, so now we actually can monetize, and I apologize for the ads that may show up in the beginning of your videos, but we should all be used to that by now. I'm trying to not put any ads in between the live streams. So you won't see those. I'm trying to keep away from that. But also just from a general standpoint, talking to some other potential forms of partnerships in the climbing community as well, for getting some more money and whatever we may have going on. Really excited. Yes, and there are a whole bunch of other comps in between now and Gowanus. So definitely check out climbingnoise.com, your one-stop shop for all of your climbing competition needs. And if you don't see a competition that you know of that is not on Climbing Noise, we are making the process easier. And Tyler brought it up, so I'm going to just go out there. I'm going to post this on social as well. All you need to do, because everyone's posting on social, all the gyms are throwing up their whatever comp on social. If you see it and you're like, I didn't see that on Climbing Noise, all you really have to do is just do @Climbing Noise. We'll see it and then we'll add it and then we'll put it up. So like, it's just that easy. And that includes you as gyms as well. If you want to be too lazy to fill out the form, it's too much to fill out the form, let us know, just @Climbing Noise on any of your social posts, and then we'll make it happen. There you go.
Get it done. Get on there. That's the place to be.
Yeah.
I heard your comp isn't cool if you don't if you're not listed on Climbing Noise.
That is kind of the word around the street. No one even knows you exist. Your comp doesn't exist unless it's on Climbing Noise. So yeah. All right.
All right, man.
Tyler. And of course, and so like just kidding, one last thing, speaking of plugs, Tyler is an amazing coach. And you're going to see how amazing he is come Gowanus time, because he's whipping my butt into shape, getting my bones and muscles back, because they're ready for a butt whipping now. So keep an eye out for that. Come Harlem, see a little bit of improvement. And I actually did okay in method. I climb well, but I can feel that it was putting a lot more effort. It was too much mental effort put into my climbs. And so if I can get the physical support for the mental, I'll be back to where I need to be. But yeah, so keep an eye out. And of course, I put Tyler's information down in the description. If you want to get some top tier coaching from Tyler, check him out on Insta, or you can check out Big Boys Climbing on YouTube as well. With that said, I think we're good to go. What do you think, sir?
Yeah, I think that we said it all twice.
Now we need to go to sleep.
Yeah, I'm ready for bed.
All right, brother.
All right, man. Enjoy your night. Talk to you soon.
Later.